headstay. I'm wondering if that is going to cause chafe throughout the
Probably
offshore kind of thing.
Enough.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
You know, if you were really worried about it, you could just take this off.
Yeah, well, I'm actually
open that
thinking when I put those tracks on, I'm just going to make, because I'm going to have 3 options, and I'll just make the display, put a triple over there, and kind of run, because I'll have a Cunningham. Eventually I'll have the reefing going back, but at this stage I'm just going to do the work at the gooseneck.
Okay.
Yeah, like I haven't got the money to be decking the boat out as much as what you'd think would be nice to go solo sailing,
Right.
to have it all lead back.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to do what is necessary. And
So what have you got on the boom for reef gear now?
there's a cleat and there is a little winch under there.
Yeah.
That's for the out haul.
Yeah.
But I was just going to put a couple of blocks at intervals, but I've got to take my sails in to get a triple put in, reef.
Yep.
And then I've got to get that Lord Nelson one cut down.
Right.
And only then, when I know where the reefing points are, I can actually put the eyelets in for the up and over reefing thing.
And you're going to leave the reefing on the boom for now, or do you want to take it back?
Leave the reefing on the boom.
Well,
yeah, I think so.
For now.
Like I might put
Cam cleat?
Cam cleat, yeah. I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to be good enough, but to put one of them on, or I can just put cleats, and then with the topping lift, I was thinking if I can lift the topping lift half a foot, then fasten it, and then by the time I drop it, it'll give enough out hole to the. That sounds, and you know, it's not the most glamorous, but I'm doing what I can.
Right.
So all this seems really undersized to me, and I'm not really sure whether I'm expecting to blow it apart.
Yeah.
At some stage.
If you move it forward, I'd upgrade it.
Yeah. Upgrade all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also it'll protect the gooseneck, right? Yeah. If I have the preventer to stop anything crazy from happening.
Yeah.
But would I just use this same idea?
You could probably just reuse it. This one
goes all the way through.
It is bolted, yeah. I think the vang is not bolted through. It's just drilled and tapped on both sides. So you might want to just take those out and put a through bolt.
A through bolt, okay.
Yeah. Because there's not on this side. So.
Yeah. Can I take this off and just leave it off?
Yeah.
For access to, because I'm going to put more blocks, and GW was saying that I can get a wooden batten and stick it in there with a bolt on it and try and find the if I'm going to do the screw.
You can just tap into that.
Just with self-drilling screws?
Well, if you drill and actually tap it with a tap.
Okay then.
Yeah. But you can take this, I mean, the only thing it does is keep things from going in there, right?
Yeah, okay. So, and I just have to move this somewhere. I'll work that out.
Put a little pad eye on this side somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's great. That's great news about the Traveller. Yeah. And I really want to get it out of the way. And I probably would put it there.
Yeah. I mean, it might seem a bit awkward initially, but I think you get used to it pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And they got nice big winches. So.
Yeah, they're not bad, eh? Yeah. They need a clean, especially this. That one's not even ripping, but I've got to pull them apart. I'm just scared to lose any springs because I've never done it before.
No, it's not. They don't go wide.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it might not be a bad idea just to do all these stays like one at a time. Like, just take them off and shorten them.
Yeah.
Take an inch out of them, or inch and a bit out of them, and put them back on.
Yeah.
So that's fairly easy to do.
I've got the I mean, I'm a big YouTuber, as you can see by this camera. And this isn't for a lawsuit either, this is just for the I've seen a guy in America do it, and he actually had a whole broadcast of the rigger pulling apart, kind of splaying the 1x19, putting the cone in, and he went through absolutely everything.
Right. So it's pretty easy to do.
That's why I've got the vice downstairs, really.
Okay.
I was going to get a length of this at my longest, and a couple of cones off you, so I could actually maybe do a repair.
If you're going to redo those, you should just replace the cones when you do it.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, they're cheap.
Yeah.
$5 each or something.
Okay. And
I mean, that's the sort of thing that I can come over one day when you get back.
Yeah.
And we can do one or two.
Yeah.
And then you can do the rest of them yourself.
Great.
It's pretty easy.
Do you think there's a... I was thinking about these...
Turnbuckles.
The turnbuckles, sorry. And I'm wondering, for lubrication purposes, is it better for me to have an open buckle, or are these closed ones? Only because if you're going to tighten it, you put the lube on the one side of the thread, and if you're going to loosen it, you put it on the other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
all of the turnbuckles except that upper are the barrels on these are bronze.
Yeah.
So they're sort of self-lubricating.
Okay then.
Yeah. That one's stainless. So you should replace that one.
Okay.
Because stainless on stainless isn't a very good combination.
For the galling factor. Yeah. So the galling is actually if it heats up, then it'll lock.
Because stainless is pretty soft.
Yeah.
So it'll lock, and the bronze is.
So the rest of them are bronze.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of these guys are bronze.
Yeah.
And you should have a pretty good look at them before you put them back on.
Just with the magnifying glasses, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to look down at the bottom, down in here.
Okay.
Right down in this section here, and just make sure there aren't any cracks.
Okay then. Because that's the faulty parts.
Yeah.
Okay. GW was also mentioning the possibility of putting a 6-inch toggle underneath my drum.
Yep. You could do that.
Might help with because I was going to pull the foil apart and have a look at the turnbuckle, but I thought I'd wait for you to come along because I've never done any of this kind of stuff, so I was a little bit dubious of...
if you're going to do that, you'll have to take the whole thing down
and then
shorten the top foil.
Okay then.
Because you're going to have to gain that distance at the top.
True. Is it necessary?
Well, I can take a look at the top.
Yeah.
Why would you put a 6-inch?
Well, the idea was because I need 12 to 14 inches of rake.
Yep.
And we thought that if we brought that up, then it'd allow the rake to come into the top of the mast. The only other thing I'd really like is there's a couple of these 2 points here.
Yep.
I'm wondering if it's possible to get the drum or the headstay, the whole unit, to sit on in one of these, to leave this one for a spinnaker tack.
It could be, but they're not as strong. But
okay then.
Because the one there it's attached to now is a strap that's going right across the bow and bolted through from the front.
Yeah.
It still would be.
It's still kind of welded, but
yeah. And then you'll just have to take whatever out of the backstay to take up the amount of wire you're going to gain, because that one's closed all the way.
Yeah. They're all pretty. This is probably closed as well.
It's fairly closed,
the turnbuckle inside the unit.
Yeah. Got like 3/4 of an inch on the bottom, maybe.
Yeah.
And we can take a look at the top and see what's in there.
Yeah. Because with that whole unit, there isn't actually a turnbuckle, don't you?
Well,
you rotate the whole drum.
Right, but the drum is really the middle of the turnbuckle.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
And the threads on these turnbuckles, the thread on the bottom is coarser than the thread on the top.
Okay then.
Which is a little unusual, so they travel at slightly different rates.
Okay then.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
So all in all, what do you think the rig?
So far it looks good.
It looks good?
Yeah.
It's worthy of a trip 10,000 miles to Australia?
I think so.
Great.
We should probably go up and have a look up top.
Yeah, great. Okay.
But everything down here looks good.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I think that I don't really think you've got any issue with your compression posts.
That's very good news.
Like if there was a compression post issue, there'd be a hollow on the deck there.
Yeah. Like obvious to the eye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that if this boat had been into ProTech, then they would have, obviously found a problem like that. It's a substantial problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't I
head up the mast?
Climb on up there.
No worries. All right, we've got Steve White up the mast checking out the gear up the top. He's given it a pretty good report so far, which I'm really happy with. There's no compression post issue, or he doesn't think so. And all the norsemen fittings and turnbuckles down here, chain plates look really good. You want to come down? Okay, I'll just turn this off. Sorry, one Genoa halyard ship where the halyard comes out the front. Okay, there's only one location there. Yeah. Usually there are two. Okay then. But all it means is you can't put another halyard in. Yeah. I was actually thinking of putting another one of these, as we spoke about, but hanging out a little bit as a spin halyard, yeah. or maybe hanging off the front. Well, what you can do is the top of the mast is quite flat. Yeah. So you could just get a special spinnaker crane, they're called. Okay. Just a plate that bolts right to the top of the loop that comes out the front. Yeah. You can do that. Do you need to give the diameter of the head or anything, or is it just pretty universal? Well, there's a lot of room up there, and we know what section this is, so yeah, I could do it. Just make one up. Cool. That's great. The only other thing is that the way the shivs are put in up there, you can't get them out. No, I've been up there and seen that. Like usually there's a pin. They're built into the mast or something. But what they did is they made that whole assembly that goes right through. Yeah. Put the shivs in and then welded it in. Yeah. That's just another thing I've got to work out. Well, if you're going to change this around, it probably doesn't. It wouldn't be a lot of money to change the halyards. Just to get another 10 foot put on it. Yeah, you can just, take this and use it for something else. Yeah. Is it looking alright, but it's. Yeah, one of them I saw. The wider one. One of them had a bit of a chafe mark on it. Okay. The jib halyard. Yeah. Yeah. Like these are both getting a little bit higher. Yeah. It's probably not a bad idea to replace them anyways. Yeah. Well, it still gives me 70 feet of rope. Yeah, exactly. To use for other stuff. Yeah. Cool. What's next? What do you think? Well, did you want to take that apart now, or do you want to? Well, I can't. I don't know if I should do it. But we could probably make the forestay 3 or 4 inches longer. Okay. Just by opening the turnbuckle up and not putting a plate in. Okay then. Well, I'm happy with that. Because you actually have pretty much no rake right now. Yeah. And the mast is pulling forward at the spreaders. Yeah. So by opening up the jib down there. If we open that up, that'll give you. And then you'll be able to tighten that one up to give me the rake. You'd have to shorten that. Yeah. The back straight, but that's not a big deal. Yeah. And then you're saying I can do these lower ones, or will you do the actual shrouds? Or we can do 1 or 2, and I can show you how to do it. I reckon that'd be a great idea. Yeah, because you should know how to do it anyways. Exactly. Yeah. And how much is a length? Say, I think the back one's the longest. Yeah, the back stay would normally be the longest. Yeah. The wire's about, in rough numbers, $2.50 a foot. Okay. And then the top end be about fitting, if you wanted to put a top end fitting on it beforehand, they're about $25 or $30. Okay. You might be better off just to buy a couple of extra Norseman fittings so that you can make anything with them. Sure. And toggles, just so you can. A couple of toggles, because the forestay and backstay have toggle swages on them now. Yeah. And everything else just has an eye. Okay. So if you had 2 extra eyes. Yeah. And 1 or 2 double jaw toggles. Double jaw. Which is what these guys are. Yeah. Then you could. That's a double jaw. Yeah. Yeah. You could pretty much make anything with it. Yeah. And you just link them together. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Do you need to? What sort of? Because I know you can't just use bolt cutters to cut this. You need the actual cable cutter. Yeah. And then just a hacksaw will do it, will it? Okay then. Yeah. So I think this is all 1/4 inch wire. Yeah, I think it was 6 mil. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Do you need any tools or anything, or you got it all here? No. Do we want to do that now? Yeah. Sure. Why not? Okay.